What's going on? It's the Rap Nerd, and a new battle just dropped on the URL TV app. Mike P versus Tay Roc, and I'm trying to get more into recapping battles, but really I'm trying to keep it where I'm recapping the battle with two rappers that I actually enjoy, because I ain't gonna lie, I watch a lot of MCs that I like on one side, and then the other side is a person that I don't like, and it would just be biased as hell, and I don't want to do that. So Tay Roc is one of my favorites, and so is Mike P. I love when they get in their bags and they're full of energy, and they just can have this concussive energy when they catch this pocket and just go. So I was extremely excited to see this battle, and overall my verdict is Tay Roc definitely won, in my opinion. I think it was a gentleman's 30 as well. I just think Tay Roc was way too much, and I think when you battle Tay Roc, you have to know that you have to go above and beyond with your material, because Roc is gonna go. He did rap longer than Mike P, but it wasn't like it was just bullshit. I mean, it was bomb after bomb after bomb, just dropping the bombs the entire time. It was crazy out the gate. It was just a different type of timing. And I think Mike's first round was the weakest round of the entire battle. I don't really know what happened. Maybe he was a little rusty or something. I don't know. But as soon as he finished his round and he went first, of course, I was like, that's not enough off rip. And I jotted down some bars from each round that I'm gonna go through that I really liked. For me, Mike P had two lines that really made me make that face like, and those are the only bars that I take down. He had a lot of head nodders. I think a head nodder is when you hear a bar and you're like, oh, I see what you, that's dope. I like that. But you gotta get me to be like, to really get a point for me. So the bar about the Charlie Sheen bar from Mike P was ill. And then he had this real dope Michael Jackson bar when he's like, I rock with you, Michael. I light up the stage. And I was like, that's one of them. I think he said that right before his round ended. And I'm like, not enough, because the way Roc just went off, I mean, he drastically overpowered him in this round specifically. A sea snake hissing. A mic is always included with a PA system. Mike stand down like Kevin Hart. He get pushed down 12 steps like sobriety. Whew. Fruitville, shot in the back. That's the only time Mike will be Jordan? Like, what? His mic flips this whole battle were crazy. Like, very, very hard-hitting and creative throughout. One gun bar I really like, he said, shit can make the armor chank on an army tank. That imagery is wild. Keep one eye on Mike. Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. And then he gets into this portion when he flips Mike's Street Fighter scheme on him, and I feel like Mike has gotten that in almost every battle he's done after that scheme, because it was just so fire and people think it was dope. Actually, it's kind of like an homage to him because they know that scheme was fire, but I like that he flipped it. But the ending bar was so ill. I reach for it and fire is what I douse him with? What? My last favorite bar from that round is Pokemon. I can blast toys. That means the cartridge blew. So he easily got that round, easily. And the next two rounds, Mike P put up a bigger fight, and I feel like he kind of woke up from that point, and a lot of bars scattered throughout this. I like the whole wrestling scheme that Mike P did, where he says, I saw how much Roc loves wrestling and raised an eyebrow. Skull in my 9-iron, join the club. Greasy, and I love when Mike P gets that growl in his voice when he ends the bar. I love that. There are a few MCs who do that the best, you know, of course, Disaster. I don't know where the hell that dude went, Joe 9. He was one of those guys that used to do that too. Real Sick does it, and Mike P is another one. I think that those four do that the best and convincingly, and it just adds an extra oomph to their bars. And this is a bar that I went crazy for, but I felt like, I don't know if the crowd caught it or what, but he was like, grabbing the weapon, suppressor, the solid treatment like I'm passive aggressive. That's ill, man. Another good flip, I throw Roc and hide my hand, ill. Then another one, a really big haymaker. He related this scheme to like Roc's family, and he ended it with stomach shot, they're clueless. I'm killing everybody under Roc. Like, that is ill as hell. Clueless, live under, man, that's crazy. And then I like the end of his verse where he was talking about he chose not to go personal, because I think that them two really have a friend type relationship or respect level for each other. And that's why this battle was just name flips and just punchlines like that, which I like a lot. I like battles where you don't have to go personal. And he ends it with, even if someone released a caution tape, I wouldn't cross the line. Love that. So on to Roc's second round, and I think that this round is the most debatable, and I think that if you want to, you can give it to Mike. But for me, it was more so that Roc just had more material that was good at that. It wasn't like he had a longer round and he didn't say shit for all of his rounds. It was like they were longer, but as he kept going, he just kept dropping bombs and bomb after bomb. So he opens up talking about how they did battle, and he said, I bought brand new material for the mic. It's Guitar Center. Love that. Cleanse the system. I'm Dr. Sebi. Lifted Italian soul, but it's not Giuseppe. This next bar, I love this. Pop till his stomach get hurt. Informant. They gotta patch Mike up under the shirt. And then this next scheme he does with the silent P's. A moment is silent for P. I'm a psycho. Crazy. And the fact that he did these flips, genius level shit. It'll flare up on the skin like psoriasis. Something strong with red and orange hair like orangutans. This next setup is crazy. He said something in the sense of like, about to get cut in half, and he was like, they'll find your first half of your body on land, but the bottom half of your body, they gotta fish for it like a mermaid. That's crazy. The weapon chrome, get your name engraved on the tomb. You're set in stone. Woo! Chinese cuisine, pecan duck, fire. So I do think round two is closest, and you could give that to Mike P, but again, for me, I just had Roc because it was just a longer round with more material. So then we move into the round three, and this is probably my favorite round, I think, from both of them, as a matter of fact. I think Mike P definitely was cooking, but I think Roc just cooked a lot more. So starting with Mike P in round three, lift a bust for crack like Tyrone Biggums. Night and day, I'll be sure. Dope bar. And this is probably my favorite bar from Mike in this round. Your people is snoring. Real American. Wave a flag at me and the eagle is soaring. It's even more dope because leading up to it, he was talking about, I don't care if you a B or a C to my Bloods or Crips, and pulling that in with the flag just made it hit even harder. And then he goes into this other bar, catch him with his girl while he is performing. While you're on demon time, I'm at the foot of your bed at 3 in the morning. He wearing Roc on his jeans, love that bar. The best white show in the game, talking to Iron Solomon. But then when he pushes that metaphor even further, that's when it gets ill. Put your head on the street, let me curb your enthusiasm. Nasty. Then the last bar I like that he says one shot and he dropped it, guess he was vaccinated. Ill. But again, Roc comes with a crazy third. Leave a scar on his fake saying, he Yamcha? Like, that's crazy. Because watching Dragon Ball Z growing up, I used to always think Yamcha was a Saiyan. I was like, why he look like that if he's not a Saiyan? And I used to just call him and refer to him as a fake Saiyan. So for me, it might hit a little harder, but I've always thought that about him. Then he makes a whole scheme about Dragon Ball Z, and this shit is crazy to me. If we get locked, you'll be the first to tell. They throw away phones because the androids aren't the perfect cells. What? What? And then he keeps it going. Yo, my students, barrel long as a piccolo. I lose my arm if I shoot it. Another bar, mic check. I better not get any feedback. And he does a whole scheme with audio in that one, but that's the line that hit for me the most in that scheme. Better talk it right. Pistol whip. Everything you hear is distorted, Mike. Stuck Mike in his mouth like Doja Cat. But this next one is like my favorite of the night, the scheme. And it's one of the things that makes Tay Roc good to me is that, like, his schemes are narratively driven, because a lot of times when people do schemes, they pin a theme and then they just start pulling certain wordplay from that theme, and it's just like a series of like bars rather than actually being an event or a story on its own. I think Surf helped him out with that since they've been linking up, and I think that's why his shit is just so good, because it's driven narratively. And if you listen to this, listen to the schemes in this battle, he kind of does it here, and this is the easiest example for me to explain it. So he sets the first thing of like, you get kidnapped, right? And then he's like, if you're rat and tell stories, think Ninja Turtles, niggas with shells invading your place. So he's already set the in motion the scheme and idea of getting kidnapped. And everything he says after that is detailing the kidnapping happening, but he's using the Ninja Turtles with the wordplay to continue the story. You know, he goes through each Ninja Turtle saying that this is what they're gonna do, this is what this is gonna do, this is what that gonna do, and then it gets to the last bar, and he says, "Ransom note, Michelangelo location ain't safe." Like, that's so ill, because again, that last bar wraps up the whole idea of being kidnapped with the ransom note, and is that his location ain't saved. So like, I think when you're able to connect the dots like that, it makes the punch hit harder, even if you aren't necessarily listening for that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all understand narratives, and I think that it plays on the psyche as to the small detail under it that makes it better. And I love shit like that, you know what I mean? It's really good writing. So all in all, I think Tay Roc had a gentleman's 30. You could give him the second round, but I don't really give Mike that round. But nonetheless, Mike put on a good performance and had great bars throughout, but I just don't think he had enough to ward off Tay Roc's assault, because that boy was punching heavily. So let me know in the comments did you think won this battle. Let me know what your favorite bar is, or your favorite scheme is. Again, mine is the Ninja Turtle one. And like I said, I'm gonna try and do this more because I love Rap Battle and have been watching it since the Smack days, you know what I'm saying? So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace. RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.